Arsenal 2, Arsenal 0. I wish it was Arsenal 2. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2, and Arsenal are out of the FA Cup. Multiple chances on goal, and it came back to bite them. Luis Diaz with the final nail in the coffin, and a Jakub Kiwior own goal knocks Arsenal out of the cup. They had their chances. They didn't take them. It should have been about 3 or 4-0 in the first half, and even in the second half, they had ample opportunity to take the lead against Liverpool. And against top teams like Liverpool, if you don't take your chances, you will rule those misses. I'm joined by Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? Yeah, mate, mega disappointing. You said, I mean, it was a game about missed chances from Arsenal's side. It was also, also our finishing ball at times was, final ball was poor at times, a lot of the times. It was a combination of bad finishing, bad final ball, just bad all round in the offensive area. And I know you said, and you're right, when you said about, when you come against Liverpool performance teams like Liverpool, and they're going to punish you, and they are, but something's got to be done. I mean, we're at the January transfer window now. Something's got to be done. There's teams like Fulham that are punishing us. It seems that teams like West Ham that are punishing us. We're getting chances in those games, and we can't finish them. We can't finish our dinner. And I love Mikel Arteta, right? But please don't tell me we don't need a striker.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little bit pissed off now, right? And it takes me a lot to get pissed off with Arsenal, right? It takes me a lot to get pissed off with our players, because I like to analyse them over a certain amount of time. But there's a few there that have got to be called out. Some of them have got to be called out that haven't been being called out. Right, and I'm going to call them out tonight. It wasn't good, mate. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Liverpool were, they didn't really give us any problems in the first half. It was mainly all Arsenal, but nothing up front, nothing.
Yeah, in the first half, Arsenal did play really well. It looked really encouraging, and Arsenal did kind of pick Liverpool apart. So what was your feelings early doors after the first 20 minutes? Because there was some really good play from Arsenal. Did you feel like they were going to get hold in?
The approach play was good. That when I said at the beginning there, that there was times in the game where it was either our finishing that I thought anyway was poor, or there was times in the game where our final ball was poor. It seemed to split itself in two halves. In the first half, the approach play was good, and the final ball was good, and the finishing was absolutely awful, right? And we've come to seeing that over quite a lot this season. And in the second half, it seemed to go the other way round. There was an element of poor finishing, but our final ball was absolutely terrible. And every time we more or less got to the into the final third of Liverpool, they didn't really look that threatened. And over the whole game, mate, I don't remember Alisson making a decent save out of all those chances.
Ramsdale had made a really good save. I think towards the end of the first half, or in the second half it was. But Alisson didn't really have to make any saves. I think it was one he pushed over the bar from someone, but it's one he really has to save because it's quite kind of in the middle. Yeah. But other than that, there was not really much. There wasn't really much on powder puff. It wasn't really much actually on target. Like you said, the approach play was really, really good. We were cutting Liverpool apart, but we didn't finish our chances. And you always knew that it was going to come back to bite us in the arse because we didn't finish. And even more so today, I felt like it was a game that going forward, we looked a lot more fluid. I know there's a lot of talk about the multiple touches in the box against West Ham, but I don't feel like, apart from the headers and then the Saka shot, they were really anything great. But Kai Havertz, he's taken the first one. Odegaard is teed up the ball perfectly for him, and all he's got to do is hit it first time. No, he takes that touch, and then the second time he does it, he takes two touches too many. Odegaard had a similar one where he could have just hit it. Reece Nelson had a similar one where he could have just hit it. The great ball from Aaron Ramsdale at early doors, absolute dynamite of a ball, pings it to Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, tries to take it round the goalkeeper. The touch is too heavy, and he puts it in the side netting. And that was pretty much the story of the afternoon for Arsenal. A massive concern for the league, a massive concern considering we're only in the Champions League and the Premier League now. So it is a worry. I like the fact that concentrating on one competition is not one thing I like to do. I find it puts too much pressure on the team. Let me quickly go to the comment section. Russ says he's absolutely fuming. He also says that Arteta's record in the cup competitions has to be a massive concern regardless of our form. Glenn, good to see you, Glenn. I don't understand how the chances we created weren't being converted. This is rough, but aren't being converted. Garth says, do you have any money to spend in the transfer window? Steve, that's a perfect question to ask for you. Do Arsenal have the money to spend in this January transfer window?
No, not really. No. It's a simple answer to that. I mean, that a lot. I mean, the signing of David Raya in the summer, the back end of the summer, where we had to loan him, and we can't afford to pay him in the summer. It should tell a lot of Arsenal fans, how our January business is going to go. I'm not going to say that, that we're not looking, and we're not looking to make a deal, and we're not looking to bring players in. We are, but it ain't going to be nothing, major. And those type of things you have to look. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kai Havertz, and I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of David Raya, but we have those signings put us in a little bit of a problem, because of the summer, or more to the extent. I mean, we should have at least had some kind of budget in January. But look, but no. I mean, the answer to that is, not much. We're impacted by FFP, so we've got to be careful what we do. You hear a lot of fans saying, "Oh, we've got to get this, we've got to get that, we've got to get that." It's not the fact of the not of the want; it's the fact that we're not allowed. It's just as simple as that. So, but then if you're Man City or you're Chelsea, you basically couldn't give a shit anyway, and you just go and do it. So maybe we should do that.
Well, in an ideal world, if you could just do that, who would you bring in?
Oh, mate, it's just the $1 million. The $1 million. I like Vlahovic. Do you know what I mean? If I was to pick someone, I would bring him. I like him as a player. Obviously, there's Ivan Toney because he's Premier League, but then there's the question marks that he's been out a long time, and how long is it going to take for him to settle in? If he's going to settle in at all, it's difficult, mate. It's difficult. I mean, we'll cover something more in the. I mean, Pedro Neto, I think we need him like an hole in the head. I think he should be our major signing personally. But then if you haven't got someone to, finish his chances, then, what use is he going to be? Yeah. But I think striker, mate, got to look at a Vlahovic or a Tony in the window. And look, if we had the money, we've got enough. We can go and get them if the Cronkies decide, to free the money up. Of 50 million, we won't be able to buy anybody anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the main area we do. If we've got 50, 60 million, which I know that we have, spend it on a striker.
Yeah. It is a major concern. It's a major position that Arsenal need to bring in. Me, myself, I do not see Arsenal bringing in a striker in the January transfer window. Maybe these last few games have sort of switched on a light bulb for Arsenal to maybe push forward with that. But as we've seen in the last few windows, they don't make rash decisions. If the player they want isn't there, they don't tend to go for him, or they wait for him in the summer. We see Andre Silva is available for loan. That might be a smart move, something like that. If they can get a short-term loan until the end of the season, I think it's worth doing something like that. I wouldn't write off bringing in those short-term loans towards just to the end of the season, because it does seem like we need to bring in a striker. If you are watching on Twitter, come over to KS1 TV on YouTube and come and join in the comment section. It's absolutely buzzing at the moment. Hit that like and subscribe as well if you aren't subscribed to the channel. And if you are subscribed, make sure you've already pressed that like. We've got quite a few people in there, so we should have quite a few likes watching the show at the moment. Let's go through a couple of the comments as well. Glenn also says Odie, Nelly, Saka, Jesus, all genuine competition for those places. I think that's playing into their performances. Pom says we got found out at the back of end of last season, and the manager hasn't done anything to sort it. I don't think that's quite. I don't think that's quite for me. I don't think that's quite an accurate assumption. Statement, sorry, because we got found out at the end of last season defensively, and I think that's one thing Arsenal. Yes, today, look, we conceded 2 goals, but I think Arsenal are still conceded the least goals in the Premier League, have they not? So that is the one thing they needed to tighten up. That is one thing they have tightened up. It's going forward which is the problem for me. We were one of the top goal scorers in the league last season. We scored the most goals we've ever scored in a Premier League campaign last season, and we've taken that away, and it hasn't helped us. It hasn't helped us because if we scored those 2 goals today before Liverpool get a goal, I don't even think Liverpool getting back in the game. I think they give up. But we gave them that hope, and that seems to be the running theme with Arsenal. We give these teams too much hope once we've either taken the lead or we've not taken our chances. Russ says Arsenal 2-0. How did we lose this game? Oh, what is that? XG. I was going to say you confused me there for a second, Russ. That was XG. Garth says Martial is available for about 6 mil. No, I don't think we even go there.
The worrying thing for me is that it seems like if the new way of playing, the pragmatic way of playing, coming through the midfield that isn't working during a game, and our strikers are happen to be off, which they have been recently. What worries me a little bit is that Arteta doesn't seem to have a plan B. I've noticed in the game against West Ham and against Fulham and today, it's like a matter of let's just throw anybody on and see what happens. A little bit of it of an hope. Let's put 3 at the back. Let's just bung Smith Rowe on. Let's bung Trossard on. Let's get Jorginho up, and it all seems a little bit messy to me, which to me is a little bit worrying. There don't seem to be any plan. Yes, I'm dare say during the week he's working hard on the training pitch. We know the way the Arsenal play. We know if it works, we know we probably beat every team in the league. We know that, but it's not working at the moment. So what happens when it's not working? There doesn't seem to be another plan.
Yeah.
So, and at the moment it's not working, and it's like when it ain't, basically we don't have another options, and teams have not sussed us out, but they know how we play and how we do, and so they know how to set up. And if they can, match us, then they'll go on and win games, which seems to be happening, recently. So, yeah, it needs. I think there definitely needs to be a change of personnel somewhere, because I'm beginning to lack ideas myself on who to change and who's the best in each position. It's getting a little bit worrying.
All right, let's get to the player ratings, but let's go to a couple of these comments first. Galvo says, lads, there are going to have to be some unpopular sales to rise funds. Emil Smith Rowe, Reece look like 2 that could go. Kiwior, maybe another one that goes in the summer. One season, I wouldn't sell Kiwior. I wouldn't sell Kiwior. He's a player that's been playing out of position at the moment. Kiwior, I think, that is a player that, in his position as a centre back, gets in the most teams in the Premier League. I think he's a very good player. He's not one that I would even be thinking of selling. He's happy to be a squad. I'm sure he wants to get more games, but he's not kicked up a stink. And anything I've seen of Kiwior has been how surprised he is to be at a club of this size in this stage in his career. It was the last interview that I read. Glenn says, do you think Havertz still will be the sword that Arteta will die on? I don't think that's the case. But if there's any sword, I would have said the Raya one. If anything, you've got a goalkeeper in there, and you brought in another goalkeeper. This probably been the most standout decision that that people have called Arteta out on in a long while. Bringing in Kai Havertz, he brought in a player to fill a position that wasn't there. Whether you think that's the right player or not, but I don't think that's.
I think there's, to me anyway. To me, I think there's more glaring problems why Arsenal are the way we are at this moment in time, and I think the easy. I mean, it may well be in the long run. Might end up being Raya and Havertz. Who knows? We don't know, right? We've got to give them a chance. It's this halfway through their first season at the club, so let's not. But I think they're easy targets, and Raya, the Ramsdale thing. A lot of Arsenal fans are on that. Havertz. It's we're really they ain't really. They're not looking into really what Havertz is actually doing on the pitch. They're looking at the stuff that he's doing more wrong than right, which I think is unfair. But I've said it now for a long while. There's certainly for me these other they're taking the brunt of a lot of the blame for the way we are at the moment because of other players who I think a lot of Arsenal fans are afraid to call out. I think it's about time they are. But
I wouldn't have said. Havertz's finishing was poor today, but I don't think he played poor.
He didn't.
I think his finishing was poor, but it's the reason why I don't think he's a striker.
No, he's not. No.
Yeah, he's not. He's not a centre forward. But let's get to the player ratings. First up, Aaron Ramsdale back in the squad. It was for me. It was had to play today. He has to play. He has to get games. Still for the rest of the season, he's going to be at Arsenal. In my eyes, it'd be silly not to. After putting him all through this, there's no point in going out and selling him and then have to bring in another player. But great distribution at the start of the game. Excellent pass to Reece Nelson, which we spoke about earlier. And then Reece Nelson didn't finish his chance there, but and a pretty good save. And I thought he did the work today. What's your thoughts on Ramsdale?
Yeah, I mean, our goalkeepers, to be fair, haven't been the problem in recent weeks. It's been other players and more people on the pitch. So, as I said last week, I think Raya's probably glad that, things were a little bit quiet he's in. But look, Ramsdale today, he was I was really pleased. I thought he would start, and he did. And I was really pleased to see him in goal. And you're right, what you said. He had a good game. He was solid in goal. He was, he made a fantastic save in the game. His distribution was very good. You've already mentioned the pass to Reece Nelson. I've seen a few people call out, Ramsdale shouldn't have come off his line, and if he would have stayed on his line, he would have saved that goal. He flapped at it and all that. But I don't know. Look, if he stayed on the line, he may have saved it. But I don't blame him for coming for it. There did seem to be a little bit of a mix-up between him there, and Kiar got his head to it. And I don't know. I'd have to watch it back. But I'm certainly not taking the rest. I mean, apart from everything else, I thought I thought he did well, and I don't think it'd be fair to him to call him out on that. Although people are, but I'll give him. I'll give him a 7. Distribution good, made a good save. And solid. Didn't have much else to do apart from that.
Yeah, he didn't. A couple of the comments in here. Everyone was poor. Everyone's finishing was poor today. Sharma says, I think it's time for Arteta to go. He's got us as far as he could. Tottenham said that with Pochettino, and look where they went. They went to Conte, Jose Mourinho, the one who's Espirito Santo, Ryan Mason again, and back to, and now they're at Ange. I think it's too quick for calling for it. I think it's too quick for that conversation now. The only thing Ramsdale had to do was pick the ball out the net twice. But he made a very good save from Luis Diaz. A very good save.
Yeah, it was
very
excellent
good save. Yeah, excellent save.
Got solid. He looked pleased with that, didn't he?
It was a very good save. Yeah, no, he needs that though. He needs that. I would have been the same.
He kept laughing, didn't he? Just to say, look, I made a save.
Yeah, he gave it the yeah, he needed that. William Saliba.
Saliba was good today. He was fit. Look, again, Look, I think Saliba's probably the best Premier League central defender by none. But again, I did think people got a little bit carried away, and when he does something wrong, people don't mention it. So I'm going to call out a couple of times he was really loose with his passing. But on other occasions, he was excellent. You know, in a tackle, he was fantastic. He was strong. Some of his long passing from out of the back was brilliant. Yeah, just a couple of sloppy passes, but other than that, I thought he was excellent. So yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well. Give him a 7 as well.
All right, 7 for Saliba. His partner Gabriel.
Yeah, I didn't hear his name mentioned much today.
Huh?
Was it?
No.
He just seemed he was there. I don't remember him making any mistakes. I don't remember him making really any solid tackles either. And I suppose he was just there to sort of, shepherd Saliba and stay solid, which I think he pretty much did. So yeah, I give him a 6.
Right, 6 for Gabriel. Jakub Kiwior, unlucky with the own goal, but
yeah,
he came off after that looking pretty down. Thoughts on his performance today?
Yeah, unlucky with the old goal. Look, he ain't a left back. We know that. When players run at him with pace, he does look a little bit suspect at times. And Diaz did give him the run around on 2 or 3 occasions. But yeah, I find it hard to have a go at Kiwior because some of his best performances this season, when we've come on here and give match ratings, is when he's been a centre back, and we've sort of like lauded his performances. So, and when we've not really we've given him low marks, he's been at the left back position, which I think he's not a left back. I don't know why Arteta keeps playing. Well, I know why he keeps playing in there because we haven't got one. Which makes you go back to thinking, why the hell did you let Kieran Tierney go? Because I think Kieran Tierney would have started today. Or I don't know, maybe not in Arteta's eyes, who knows? But yeah, look, I'm not going to be too harsh on Kiwior. I'm going to give him a 6 as well.
Right, 6 on Jakub Kiwior. Sorry, just. I do wonder what some people watch. I've just seen someone say that Odegaard had gone missing today. I don't think they watch football.
No,
honestly, I don't. There was one point, yeah. There was one point. For all what you think, I clapped Odegaard, and I said in the house to myself, "This guy is an absolute joy to watch." We're not even on Odegaard yet. I'll wait until we get to him. Benjamin White.
I thought we done all right today, Ben. I thought he did better than what he's done in recent weeks. He still wasn't getting forward.
Mm-hmm.
He was still trying to play like defensively, but yeah, I thought he was pretty solid today. He done all right, and nothing special. So yeah, probably. I mean, he ain't been good recently, Ben White, to be fair. But yeah, nothing majorly stands out. Just a solid performance, really. I mean, Núñez is pretty easy to wrap up. I mean, he is. I know he is. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, 6 for Ben White today.
6.
He was all right.
6 for Ben White. Blown away by some of these comments. So,
oh, mate, I've seen some before I come on tonight, and I'm
beauts.
I've decided not to literally watch anything that any Arsenal fan says ever again, apart from what we talk about on here, because it'll only raise up my blood pressure. So yeah, I can't listen to some people, the nonsense that they absolutely come out with. I don't even know what you're reading, but
Andy Knight says Arteta's had his time. As I said, sack the arrogant clown. Coach fed up with him. You lot are far too reactionary. The only thing, we've already read that one. Next up, Declan Rice.
Yeah, I thought Declan Rice was solid today. He was sort of, he didn't seem to be getting forward that much, but he had a pretty solid performance. Again, nothing stand out. I think like their midfield, I thought we was in the first half we sort of controlled the game a lot in the midfield. I thought we did well. We sort of in the second half we sort of, I don't know why we just drop off. But I thought Declan Rice always has a good performance for Arsenal. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.
7 for Declan Rice. Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I mean we've already spoken about Kai Havertz. It was a game of two halves on two different things for me. Firstly, look, I think his hold up play was really good. I thought he's, the way he's, some of the passes that he played was really good. And especially in the second half, he got into some great positions behind the front line, behind the Liverpool defence, and played some really good balls onto other players, only for them to absolutely cock it up. But that never gets mentioned. You see, that never gets mentioned because certain person who on the end of it who cocks it up never gets called out. But he's going to get called out tonight, people. By the way. So yeah, but his finishing's not good enough, mate. It wasn't good enough. He seemed to dwell on the ball a lot. He should have shot when he took that extra touch. So again, with Havertz, there was a lot of good things I loved tonight about Kai Havertz, but he's not a centre forward. So, mate, I mean, he had about 5 chances. He should have at least scored 2 of them. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not as harsh on that people are going to be, because people will just look at the goals that he missed and then just base his game on that, which I think's sad. Which I think's really sad. When people look at Havertz's game and because he missed some goals, that's it. Then let's just harp on that. Let's just talk about the goals. Let's not talk about the fact that he was in the position to score the goals anyway. Let's not talk about the fact that the 3 or 4 chances that he set up for other people when they should have scored. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Kai Havertz when he's missed his chances he should have scored. He's not even centre forward. This is what annoys me, right? When people talk nonsense or they don't actually, base their analysis on a player's game in everything that they do during the game. But that said, I'm going to give him a 6 anyway.
All right, 6 for Kai Havertz. Reece Nelson. Yeah,
Reece Nelson. Start of the game, very lively. I thought, whoa, Reece, come and, do your business. He looked lively. He should have scored. But he looked dangerous when he was on the ball. He did look dangerous. But again, for me, finished end ball. For me, final finish, just poor for me. It was poor from, just like everybody else's, in that first half. There were a lot of good work off the ball, a lot of good touches. But the final ball, the finish just off. And again, Nelson fell into that category today. But Reece Nelson is Reece Nelson. We know what we expect from Reece Nelson. He's no well beater. We know what to expect from him. So yeah, I'm going to go and also give him a 6 as well.
6 for Reece Nelson. Yeah, he, like you said, he did peter out a little bit. I thought he looked live at the start. I thought overall he had an all right game. It's moments like that where I think if you're talking about getting more opportunities, it's moments like that that can get you potentially a start in the game, taking that early chance, which will then open up the game and probably give you more confidence, give you more chances, opportunities in the game. It was a bit of a
to be fair to him, I don't think he should have come off. I don't think he was the worst of our offensive players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Very true. Very true. We'll get onto that in a second. Jorginho.
Yeah, well, Jorginho did what we come to expect from Jorginho. Gets the ball and passed it off, and he did that really well in the first half. Did it pretty well the whole game, really. But Jorginho did. He was solid. When he got the ball, he passed it to the right people, lay it off to them, and let them go and do their stuff. And I think Jorginho, that is what we come to expect from Jorginho, and I think he pretty much did that. Nothing, no sort of fireworks from Jorginho. Just decent, really. Again, another decent game, really. But I'd probably give him a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10 for Jorginho. A couple more comments now. There's a couple more Arteta outs now. A bit of frustration bubbling under.
I mean, these Arteta outs. I mean, you got an opinion, and but instead of putting Arteta out, I mean, can you put why you feel that Arteta should be out and why he should leave into some sort of context? I'd just be interested, to know.
That's fair. See, Steve's not shutting it down. He just wants to hear a bit of back.
Yeah.
Like I said, he wants to hear a bit of context with it.
Yeah.
Ras says Rice was missing with my chili chicken. Rice not that impressed with he's not. Ras not impressed with Rice tonight. Tongue twister there. Bukayo Saka tonight, Steve.
You know what's coming, didn't you? Mate, I thought he was. Do you know the couple of the big Arsenal accounts have put in? Was he man in the match tonight?
What, Saka?
You may need to get a new pundit on the Arsenal show, mate, because I thought he was shite, absolute shite. And when I say shite, I'm not saying that there wasn't other players worse. I'm saying by his standards of what we've come to be used to, this guy, there's something seriously wrong with him. Seriously, he done nothing. What he's done, his performance today was exactly a carbon copy of what I could I could just press a button of every Arsenal post-match over the last over the season, and it would be the same. But today was just that little bit worse. Because he gets the ball, you think you get excited because you know what he's got, and you know what he can give you. And yet again, every time his final ball's awful. He's either running into a player or he's falling over. And the second, I mean, we talk about Abersmith's chances. Saka missed 4, which I think were more easier to score than what Abbott's were. 4. There was 2 in the first half where he skied one over the bar, and one I think he just rolled it to Alisson. And in the second half, Havertz made 2 fantastic runs behind the channels, got the ball across to Saka. For me, they was open goals. One, I don't know what he did. He miskicked it and put it over the bar. And the other one, I think he hit wide. And I was like, I just can't believe it. 5 tonight, 5, maybe 4. And the reason why the scores are so low is because he's got if we're marking levels on a 5, Saka's on a 2 at the moment. He's got 3 levels that we haven't even seen this season, and I don't know what it is. And he's kept on the pitch. He should have been taken off. Reece Nelson should have been kept on. Should have been put Reece Nelson out on his side. Let Reece do his, try and do a bit over there. Get Arteta to say to Reece Nelson, look, Saka's been off it today. You go and do your stuff. You show, you get us a goal. And then get Martinelli on the left and whoever down the middle. But, mate, I don't know what your opinion is of him today. But, yeah, I mean, I'm just really frustrated because, I'm used to giving Saka 9s and 10s every week. But I've got to call him out because I'm fed up with seeing Arsenal Fan TV and other big Arsenal accounts and big podcasts kiss his ass every week.
Yeah,
because he's always been awful.
Yeah, no, Saka wasn't good today at all. He wasn't good. I can't who's Liverpool's fullback? Who's Liverpool's left back today?
Gomez, wasn't it?
Was it Gomez?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't really. Gomez I was fully expecting Gomez to get a couple of bookings today. Caused Gomez a bit of trouble today. Didn't cause Gomez any trouble at all. Martinelli came on for the last 15-20 and caused more in that 15-20 than Saka did all game. But this has been the story of Saka's season so far. This is why I speak about. It seems to be every other week that Saka's not at this world-class level.
No, he's proved it. He's proved it. I got carried away. I got carried away last season a bit with the way Saka was, because I just thought if he was to carry on this season the way he did last season and up it, do you know what I mean? I probably would have got proved right and said.
But that's my point.
But I was wrong.
That's my point on that. World class is about consistency over a period of time. It's like, and it is. I saw a post on AFTV a couple of weeks back where Saka had a really good game, and someone said people say that Saka, Rice have to play in the Champions League, have to be winning the league, have to be winning the cups, have to be doing this, have to be doing that to be classed as world class. Absolute rubbish. I was like, no, it's not absolute rubbish. You do have to be doing it over a period of time. You do have to be playing in the Champions League. You do have to be doing it at the top level consistently over a few years to be classed as world class. You can't be that one season wonder. You can't do it at a club with no pressure, who's not playing in the Champions League, because that's the different level. That's the different sort of pressure you're going to have to handle against different and better opponents. That's what I'm talking about. And that's why I don't judge Saka at a world-class level. But even then, even though I don't, still now, just from what we come to expect from Saka, he's been very, very poor. Very, very poor. He's not been up to the standards this season. We can talk about Ben White all we want, but Martinelli's been as isolated as Saka is, and we seem to be getting more end product out of Saka, but I seem to be getting more games, like more danger from Martinelli. Like Martinelli.
Would you say he's been the biggest drop-off, Kieran? Would you say he's been the biggest drop of any Arsenal player? Would you say out of all the players from last season, Saka's drop-off has been bigger than any other?
Yeah, playing wise,
I would.
Playing wise, I would say so.
Yeah.
Jesus maybe, but then he's had his injury and he comes back and he has some really good games. It's been a lot stop-start. Ben White, I would say, has had a massive drop-off.
Yeah.
I do think we need to tweak our tactics slightly, but yeah, I don't know. Today for me, with Jorginho back in the team, Odegaard having the opportunity to play a bit more forward, and it benefited him. It benefited Havertz. We had more opportunities in goal. We had more shots on goal, so it did work. That slight change did work, which is why I think if we have a Thomas Partey or we have Jorginho in that midfield with a Rice, I think it benefits Arsenal going forward, because we've just got a bit more structure. With the 2 8s higher up, you've got a single pivot, and Rice has to do a lot of work in there. Now, he's done better since the start of the season, but I still don't think he's up to the top level that we need to have him as that single pivot. It's too much for him to do. It's not a slight on his performance or on his quality. It's just too much for him to do for the stage of his career that he is now. He needs to be on the ball. He needs to be in and about it, and having to think about what's behind him constantly is holding him back sometimes. Whereas if you've got someone behind him like a Jorginho or a Partey, it gives him that freedom to be a bit more forward, and it also gives Odegaard a bit more freedom to just be forward as well. Yeah.
So what you're saying? You're saying have like Partey at the 6, Rice at the 8. And then Odegaard, and then mate, I don't know why we don't try Havertz as the person who can, sort of rotate with Saka, on that right hand side. That's where he played. That's where he played. That's where he played his whole career in Germany, on the left hand side for Bayer Leverkusen, when everybody in the world wanted to play him, right? And no one's tried him there yet. And
I think he played one game. I think he played one game there. And he also played another game when Odegaard was out. He played on the right of that 8. He played on the right 8. I just think
Is Arteta scared to drop him?
No, with Havertz, I think it's a bit like you could have Havertz in there or you could have Vieira in there. They're two completely different players. With Havertz, you're getting someone who's going to be more of a goal scorer, more of a presence. But with Vieira, he's someone who you could potentially bring in for the low block, someone who's going to be able to pick them pockets, find a bit of space, chip the ball into the box at the right angle, which he has done a few times. He can change the game up in a different way to what Havertz can. And we've also got the option with having Odegaard there with the two deeper line midfielders in Partey and Rice. It's just we haven't had the opportunity. Partey's only played 4 games this season. So maybe it's an opportunity to use Jorginho a bit more, because I do think, although we weren't finishers day, it's been the best going forward I've seen us play in about 4 games. We were been arse against Fulham, terrible against Fulham. Aston Villa, we weren't bad, still taking our chances. A couple of referee decisions that done us over, but yeah, going forward, I think today was I was really encouraged by the performance today. Apart from the goals, apart from the finishing, which has been this season. Let's quickly get on to the next one. What did you give him? A 5? Did you give him?
Yeah,
5 for Saka. Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think Martin Odegaard's, coming into a bit of form recently. I think he's been Arsenal's best player. For the last few weeks. He obviously had a drop off of form, but no, I thought he was good today. I thought he did everything that he tried to do. He was unlucky with the shot in the first half. It was one that come off the bar, wasn't it? I mean, that was very unlucky. And yeah, he put in some good balls into the channels, which players basically cocked up. They was the poor finishing. So I don't know where these comments are coming from online that Odegaard had a bad game. I thought he was very good.
That's crazy. That's crazy. If you've watched today, and I mean this, if you've watched today and you think Odegaard has had a bad performance, don't watch football.
No,
don't watch football, because I don't know what you're looking for. Because he is beautiful to watching football. I've watched football for many years, and seeing a player like Martin Odegaard, I am so happy that he plays for us. Watching him week in, week out, just glide on the ball. He's so good to watch. I could watch him just spin around in circles with the ball at his feet. He's just a joy to watch.
Man United do that every week with Anthony, mate. They want that. He just spins around every week. He does
the whole fidget spinner. Rubbish. But Martin Odegaard, look, I understand. We want to see some goals. We want to see some. But he was looking for space. Was Saka making the right movement for Odegaard in those positions? Was Havertz making did Havertz finish his chances? If Havertz finishes his chances, Odegaard gets an assist today. If Havertz takes both his chances, Havertz gets 2, and it's not even a competition. You're saying Odegaard is the man of the match. You would be.
I'm saying he's man of the match now.
This is what I mean. But it seems to be, if Odegaard doesn't get an assist and a goal, all you say is he works hard. Works hard. No, get out of it. Ryan Mason works hard. Harry Winks works hard. Look, that's not working hard. His dribbling skills are honestly unbelievable.
Working hard standard. Every professional football
level. Yeah. You're talking about working hard. Honestly, you don't know football if you think that Odegaard's performance today was just someone working hard.
Yeah, every Arsenal player should be looking up to him and seeing what he puts in. Well, not every player, but certainly some of them, should be looking at him. And and his attitude and what he's doing on the football pitch, and especially like all last season, basically. He was off beginning of the season. He also had an injury. We found out. You can tell he's back to full fitness now. And on his game, he's it's just, I feel sorry for him because the rest of them in front of him have absolutely been tosh all season, basically. And that's what it is. It really is as simple as that. Let's say it how it is. When you've got the creator on the ball in the number 10 position, and you're working your nuts off, which we've already said Stan, but we know that we get from Martin Arda. When he's looking up and he's looking for the ball, he's trying to play the balls into the channels. He's getting shots off when he can. But look, when you've got Saka, Jesus, Nketiah, Martinelli, who literally been basically rubbish, not rubbish, but very, very poor all season, our people can go and turn around and say, let's not look at our ALM boys, or let's not look over Jesus. Who else can we go back there and have a go at? So go at Odegaard. It's poor. So yeah, it's just no. He was good today. He was man of the match for me. Still going to give him a 7, but he was up there, like in the high 7s, touching 8s. But 7.
Yeah, Gavin says don't underestimate the effect of Partey being missing. And how he's progressed it much faster, getting to the fore, the ball earlier with the defensive scrambling. He also said, Erdegaard, how rain or shine, consistently wants the ball and looks for it. Our player of the season so far, never hides regardless of how others are playing. Top player. I thought, like I said earlier, I thought it was very, very good today. I don't know what people are talking about. Gabriel Martinelli, when he come and looked sharp.
Yeah, he did. He looked sharp when he come on. I got quite excited when he first got the ball because he, as you say, he looked really up for it, didn't he? Certainly did more than what Saka did in the amount of time he was on the pitch. But I think again, mate, the final ball's not there, is it? It's just, like most of these. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I bigged him up there, and all that. Way he was putting through the ball through people's legs. He was literally, giving Trent Arnold absolutely torrid time. But when he got into that final ball where he had to play it off or get a shot off, I don't know. It just seems to go all a little bit awry. And but full marks to him. I give him a 6.
6 for Gabriel Martinelli. He came on. He attacked the fullbacks.
Yeah,
he put it through a couple of legs.
Yeah,
created opportunities, and sometimes it's not just. I know he needs to work on his end product, but sometimes this is what I criticise Saka for. Sometimes Martinelli will always go at his fullbacks. Will always constantly go at them. Where sometimes I think that if Saka doesn't get any joy out of him early doors, he then reverts to getting the ball and then trying either to cut in or just pass it, a little bit of Jack Grealish style. Whereas I think he just needs to find a bit more confidence and have a bit more self-belief in taking those players on. Maybe it is because he does get hacked a few times. But even today, I thought the referee had a good performance today. Yes, there were a couple of decisions where it probably could have gone either way, but I know there was that stat that said he's like the 3rd most fouled player in the league, but I think there are a lot of fouls that he doesn't get where he should get them, where people just block him. Like today, he got just blocked, and I've seen that quite a few times where he just gets blocked.
You don't have to be given a free kick, to be fouled.
Yeah.
If you're a football man and you're watching a football game and you see your player being fouled and you don't get nothing for it, if you've played football long enough, you know if it's a foul or not. So that's why when we say, Saka's fouled more than any other player, that's why we say it.
Yeah. No, he is. They tried to say it was Jordan Ayew and Bruno Garamesh, but I thought also Martin Keown made a great point. He said, if you look at Bruno Garamesh and Jordan Ayew, they're both in the top 10 of players who create the most fouls, who give the most fouls away. So they're it's a bit of give and take with him, where Saka's not in that other top 10. And that's they're just taking him out because he's trying to be creative. He's trying to play. He's trying to attack.
They're taking them out because they're giving it. So someone's going to say, "All right, you're giving it to me." Bruno Guimaraes makes a foul on so and so. Then you're going to get the other midfielder to go and take him out. Then, isn't it? That's how football works, people. Same with Jordan Ayew. If he's going to think he's going to be a bit of a tough guy in the game, then anybody on that football pitch is going to give him a little bit of a dig back.
Yeah.
It's common sense, But I see the actual thing with
Jordan
and Simon Jordan and Jim White, and it just goes back to the same old thing again of Jim White and Simon Jordan, two people who haven't kicked a ball in their life, who are absolutely clueless when it comes to the game. So if you've kicked a ball like me and you have, and like Martin Keown has, you know how a game works. So yeah, just hope that people don't keep on listening to their nonsense. But yeah,
Eddie Nketiah came on and
did nothing, mate. Did he? Don't remember him touching the ball. I don't know. Maybe went off to make a cup of tea at the time, but I don't remember him doing nothing. 5.
Smith Rowe came on. What we did?
5. Yeah, just 5.
Yeah. Mikel Arteta.
Mikel Arteta. Yeah, look, team selection. Yeah, can't really knock it. I'd say he probably got that right. The way we started, I'd say that he set us up right. Players really should have scored their chances. You can't put that down to Mikel Arteta, because they missed their chances. So yeah, high marks then. But we lost the game in the end. And if there's anything if I'm going to mark him down for, is just again. He just looks like a little bit slapdash in the end. He just seemed to run out of ideas a little bit, but because of the players on the bench, he was just sort of throwing anybody on just to try to see if anything could happen in the end when he was put Smith Rowe on and Trossard. I mean, and what has ML Smith Rowe got to do to get a game? It's it's a little bit baffling, really. I mean, I've seen Smith Rowe play out on the right before. I mean, why didn't you get Saka off? You had a nightmare. Put Smith Rowe on, but you can't even get on. Can't even get on the pitch. So yeah, but I think he's on his way. But so I'll give him a 6. 5. 5. No, give him a 5. 5.
5 for Arteta. All right. It's a bit of a break though, isn't there, for Arsenal?
For Arsenal there isn't there? It's just each team's going to have a little bit of a break, aren't they?
We've got the next game's on the 20th of January.
Yeah. I don't think the Premier League's having a break because I think there's still games next week for other clubs.
Yeah.
And so they just over the next month, certain teams will be having a little bit of a week off, if you like, sort of thing. But it's not a good time. You wish you could just get into the next game and play, but maybe a rest will do us good. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game against Crystal Palace. They always give us a tough game, especially a Roy Hodgson team. It's going to be tough to break them down, especially considering we're struggling with the low block and finishing our chances. We need to get points out of Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, before we take on Liverpool at home again and then West Ham away. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Mikel Arteta with the coming weeks, especially with the recent run of results, the 3 losses against Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Fulham. So it's time to start putting some points on the board in the Premier League and alleviate the pressure that shouldn't really be there in my eyes. But each their own, and opinions are opinions. And just like our souls, everyone has one. Most of yours stink. On that note, thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Pleasure.
And thank you for joining us tonight, everyone else. Comment section, absolutely buzzing today. Thank you, Galvo. Thank you, Zhao. Thank you, Andy, Issa, Shamira, Ronnie, even though you're a Tottenham fan, Glenn, Garth. Thanks for joining us, Russ, as well, the regulars. And like I say, always say, hit that like and subscribe. If you are new to the show, come over to KS1 TV on YouTube and smash that like button and subscribe button. And if you're a regular, press that like button. It always helps. And press that copy button. Thank you for joining us tonight. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.